All right, so everybody else out there has a video on how to ride a motorcycle, so this is what I decided that I should do next. And I'm going to try and just go through everything from beginning to end, describe everything in as much detail as possible with the short amount of time that I have. So I'm just going to jump right into it. First thing, this is a motorcycle. It is a two-wheeled vehicle. Yeah. The easiest way to start is to explain, I guess, the basics of the shifter. And you got the clutch. This is your shifter for your gears. And then you got your front brake, which is on the... Well, you're... All right. So the left side is for shifting and the right side is for braking, basically. Front brake is up here. Rear brake is down here. So... yeah. So you've got the motorcycle. The first thing you're going to do is to look at it and to admire it and to realize how awesome it is. No, I'm just joking. You can just jump on it if you want. A lot of motorcycles are carbureted. The difference between a carbureted motorcycle and a fuel-injected motorcycle is big because carbureted take a while to warm up. I've ridden this down here about not even a mile away from where I live, so it's already kind of warm. But once you have the key in there's a few different modes for this Kawasaki, and I mean, I haven't really noticed much, but I know if you turn it once, you get your red oil light, and this means that it's in neutral. So that means that your gearbox is in neutral. The gearbox is starting at a 1 all the way down. So if you take your foot and you go all the way down, you should be in 1. And then if you click it up very lightly, it'll go into neutral. And if you go up from there, it's 1, neutral, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. So that's any motorcycle I've ever been on is like that. So this is in neutral. If it wasn't in neutral, you would have to hold the clutch when you start it. That's a common mistake that I sometimes still make. But since it is, I can just click this down. This engages the starter, and this is this electric start, and it starts right up. So, another thing, with the kickstand being down, if you try and rev the throttle, there's a safety feature on this bike that will turn the bike off. So, a lot of times, I do that a few times actually still. But another thing also is this. Most bikes will have this this is your fuel feature for how your fuel is being delivered to the fucking carbs or whatever. So this is on all the way down, and then if you turn it to the right, it'll turn it off. You turn it to the left here, it'll be the reserve. So if you get low enough on gas, you have to go all the way to the right to the reserve. You have about half a gallon or maybe a gallon of tank left, so you can rush over to a gas station and fill up, so you don't run out. All right. So you're on the bike. It's in neutral. Put the kickstand up, obviously. Actually, you know what? I'll show you what happens if you try to rev it with the kickstand. So I'm going to pull the clutch in. The only thing the clutch is for is when you're shifting, or if you want to just completely disengage the transmission or cut power to the bike, pretty much. It just turns off the bike. So I'm in 1 now with it pulled in. So if I try to go, see, I just let the clutch out and it turned off. And I didn't see, if I put this up and I do the same thing, it'll roll forward because you're engaging the see, it turned off again. So anyway, you get the idea. That has to be up, or it's not even going to let you go forward. So let me get straight here so I can kind of show you. When the clutch engages, the bike will roll slowly. You just got to find the sweet spot. There it goes. You can kind of hear it. You hear the bike, and then as I let go, it'll kind of start to make a different sound. That's as far as mine will go. Some bikes are different with their clutch, but mine, you've got to rev it. So when you're trying to go forward, you're going to usually rev to a certain RPM. For me, I usually go up to 2 or 3, depending. But it's a feel. Like I'll let the clutch out as I'm at a red light or something. I'll let the clutch out and rev. But anyway, you're going to want to rev and then let the clutch out to go. So you're going to let the clutch out a little bit. You're going to rev a little bit. All right. Now I'm completely off the clutch now. Whoa. And I'm on the throttle. And you can get off the throttle. As long as the bike is moving, you don't have to have the clutch pulled in. But if the bike slows to a point where the clutch is not pulled in, the bike will stall if it's in gear, hence the neutral usage of the neutral gear. So if you're at a red light and you want to stretch or something, you have to go up from 1 to neutral, or if you're shifting down, you can shift down right into neutral, and then just stop. So again, I'm going to let the clutch out a little bit and give it a little throttle. Now I'm completely off the clutch. And that's it. I mean, that's how you ride a bike. And then you just fucking ride it. I mean, I don't know. I definitely recommend taking a motorcycle safety course of some sort, basic rider course with the Motorcycle Safety Foundation. It's muscle memory too. Shifting is muscle memory. So I'm in 1 right now. Let's say I want to go up to 2. I'll pull the clutch in and I'll get off the throttle and I'll shift up past neutral. So you got to shift hard. You see how the bike shuddered there? That means I'm in too low of a gear for how fast I'm going. So I'm going to go back down to 1 since I'm going kind of slow here. Being able to maneuver slowly on a bike is a very good thing, because I think statistically most of your motorcycle crashes are going to be at slow speeds. So it's good to be able to go slow. Like here, so you say I want to, my feet aren't touching the ground, which is basically what I want to do when I'm going slow. So I'm on the brake now, and this is where it starts to get really tricky when you're only going about 2 miles an hour on a bike, because the bike wants to stay up. But anyway, I'm getting off topic. That's not the topic of the. So let me come out here and do some shifting so you can see. Always make sure you watch where you're going. Give it some gas, let the throttle out slowly. I'm off the throttle, or I'm off the clutch, shift it up. So for me, it's kind of like that. I'm off the throttle, pull the clutch in, shift up, slowly let the clutch out, and continue with your throttle control. So on and so forth. And that's it. La 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 la. Didn't want to try and steer around that. Yeah, that's it. That's the video. So, yep. That is the worst U-turn I've ever made in my life.